God almighty, we've got a lot to talk about. We've got the, what do we have to talk about today? I was going to say the Summer Slam, but that's next month. We've got the Money in the Bank pay-per-view. I didn't watch SmackDown. I know, shocking. But Vinny will give some thoughts on that show and how much he hated Cody Rhodes and his bags.
Didn't hate... Okay.
That is true, is it not?
Did you just see the same post in the thread that I was just replying to?
Yeah, I didn't see what you were replying to it.
About 1% of my hate in the SmackDown rant was focused on Cody Rhodes and the bags. 99% of it was dedicated to the worst commentary of all time. Booker T, Michael Cole, and Josh Matthews can all go fuck themselves.
Tell me more.
Well, you see, in addition to merely being incompetent at their jobs, they seem to go out of their way to humiliate themselves and the performers in the ring and myself as a viewer. To the point where, yes, Cody Rhodes has a stupid bag gimmick. So he comes out and he's passing out the bags. He had threatened Ted DiBiase that if he lost one more time, he would put a bag on his head himself.
Oh, no.
Exactly. So Michael Cole is talking about how terrible this would be, and then he says, here, I'll put one on myself. And he puts a paper bag on his head. Then this somehow, he said, made Booker look stupid. He started going off about Booker. Then he was like, I'll just keep this on my head the entire show. Pointing out again, there is nothing wrong with having a goddamn bag in your head. So, then they started...
Please tell me he kept the bag on his head the entire show.
I don't know. The hell are we?
How did he do commentary with a bag on his head?
There's a hole in it.
I know, but... wait a... Oh, so I guess he had a headset.
Yes.
But still, wouldn't the bag be scratching against the headset and making that noise that you make all the time when you're fucking around with the mic?
Well, I guess he's better at it than I am. So
that's impossible.
So they started asking Booker T about...
Even I give you too much credit.
Josh asked Booker T about his experience in Money in the Bank, and Booker rambled on about something else, something completely unrelated. So Cole cannot take this. He screamed at Booker, "What about Money in the Bank?" Booker could not answer again. He went off about something else entirely. So Cole couldn't take any more. He started making fun of Booker and all his cliches, all his poor English, all his mumbling. Booker sat there and took it like a complete geek. Then they started shouting at each other about cheerleading and drum majors, and finally Cody won with his kick. Now, someone made a post in the thread about this newsletter that I just read right as you were starting Lightning Hopkins, and it got me off in a bad mood. They're like, how could you be so mean to Cody?
Easy.
I'm going to read exactly what it says here in my report. I suspect that if I had muted my television, this would have been a good match. But I didn't. So all I could focus on was the dog shit announcers trying to get themselves over, and in the process dragging themselves and the show into a fiery pit of pain. An infuriating segment, fuck you.
So this person, what you're saying is they didn't read.
They did not read a fucking word. Now, here's what I said about Cody and Ted backstage. Ted DiBiase lost in a boring match to Ezekiel Jackson. Came back. I'll just read what it says. After the match, DiBiase ran into a disappointed Cody Rhodes. He said he tried. Rhodes gave him a bag and said it was for losers. Then he changed his mind and said he would give Ted one more chance. But if Ted lost one more match, quote, I'm going to come to that ring and I'm going to personally put a paper bag over your head.
This fucking gimmick sucks.
He said this as dramatically and menacingly as he could, but these are grown men talking about paper bags. That's all I said about Cody Rhodes.
Why are you even defending yourself? I'll say it for you. This Cody Rhodes bag shit sucks. It fucking sucks. It is a man. Let's get this straight. Cody Rhodes is a skinny guy who doesn't cover up his legs, and he goes to the ring, and his gimmick is that he puts bags on people. And the fans that he puts bags on their heads, they all love being on TV. They don't care about being bagged at all. And in a menacing voice, while wearing a jockstrap on his head, he threatens to put bags on people's heads. This gimmick sucks!
It's pretty goddamn awful. Should we go through the show segment by segment?
I don't care.
That's really... That was...
I got nothing better to do tonight.
The first half of the show... I watched the first half of the show prior to watching Money in the Bank. So I was in a terrible mood when that show started, and thankfully that was a show for the ages.
You know, what did that guy say? This is not offensive?
I will read it. The thing that got me angry?
And just read his whole post.
This is from Steve Gray 21 of Ontario, Canada.
I didn't want to read his name, but that's fine.
That's his board name. Well. Anyway. Christ's sake, Vinny. Why is there always so much venom toward Cody Rhodes? He spends 30 seconds tops having people hand out bags to the crowd. That's his gimmick. He finds people ugly. Then he has awesome matches with Daniel Bryan. The Bryan versus Rhodes / DiBiase feud has produced nothing but solid matches on SmackDown. Well, no shit. He's having good matches with Daniel Bryan. Holy cow, that's all jack off. What exactly about this is insufferable television? Oh no, fans smile at the bags. It's not a great gimmick, but it's certainly inoffensive, and the in-ring work more than makes up for it.
That right there is what I take offense to right there, Steve Gray.
Don't patronize us and tell us this is inoffensive.
No. What I take offense here to, and I have nothing against Steve Gray, but you've mentioned his name, so I'll say it here.
Nothing but solid matches.
No, here's the thing, though. Listen, and I'm not even angry at Steve Gray. I just hear this a lot, usually in reference to Impact. And all I have to say is, as fans, we're all fans here. Okay, we're all fans of pro wrestling. That's why we watch this stuff every week. But as fans, I am offended by people that accept shit. I'm not even saying that the Cody Rhodes thing is shit. But he himself admitted it's not a great gimmick. But what did he say? It's not offensive?
It's not a great gimmick, but it's certainly inoffensive.
Inoffensive, he said. Okay, well, you know what? It doesn't really offend me. There are things that offend me, so I would agree. It is an inoffensive angle. With all that said, we don't have to accept a goofy gimmick. We can expect more. That's all I ask.
You don't want to settle for inoffensive.
Let's all expect more. You know, why do we have to sit here and go, you know, there have been worse shows in the world than Impact, so we should accept it. No, we shouldn't. I want a good show on Thursday night. I want a great wrestling show on Thursday night. I don't want to settle for the bullshit that is Impact. I don't want to settle.
Hey, Impact blew SmackDown out of the water this week.
You want to know what? Let me add this to this whole Cody Rhodes thing. Perhaps Steve Gray has forgotten that when Cody first introduced this new gimmick, when Cody first claimed that he had been badly damaged by Rey Mysterio, and now he was wearing a face mask and he was cutting these serious promos, I thought it was great. I thought Cody was great. And unfortunately, he went from being great to a comedy figure that puts bags on people's heads. Still cutting these same... This is the thing. When Cody was cutting serious promos, it was one thing when his gimmick was serious. When his gimmick is that he puts bags on people, and at the same time, he's trying to cut a serious promo about bagging a man, doesn't work at all.
No.
You know what I mean? It just doesn't work at all. Like, imagine if Stone Cold Steve Austin was cutting the same Stone Cold Steve Austin promos, but meanwhile he was being booked by, like, Eric Young. Fail. An epic fail.
Well, just imagine if he was then putting bags on people's heads.
Yeah, it'd be ridiculous.
Yes.
If Steve Austin's gimmick was that he was Austin 316 says, I'm going to bag your ass, no buys. No one's buying that shirt.
That was Brian hitting the mic, everyone, not me.
I didn't hit the mic.
Something happened.
It was vitriol that hit the mic. So anyway,
spittle.
Listen, we don't have to accept a stupid bag gimmick for Cody. We just don't. Let's expect more. Let's expect more from our wrestling. That's all I've got to say.